The second element, they have to affirmatively take steps to help the perpetrator avoid arrest, detection, and conviction.
Is there a warrant for him at this point?
No.
Okay.
But I'm saying if we can show...
So they cannot take those steps?
Wait, what? No. You're right. You're right. If they are actively taking steps to help George Bush avoid detection, arrest, and conviction, then they would be prosecuted accessories after the fact. Why are we talking about accessories after the fact?
Because
close to 1 million people are in their cold graves right now. Why are you talking about...
Ms. Dennett should know if she's running for AG that in Vermont, I say it again, you can check it, if you have information about a murder conspiracy or accessories after the fact, the law in Vermont demands that you charge them also.
At the same time?
That's correct. If you have that information, that's correct.
So you're saying that when we go to court in Vermont, not only Bush, Cheney, and Rice, but 500 members of Congress are going to be seated at that council table. Is that what you're saying?
That's up to you.
No, they're not going to be prosecuted at the same time. You may be right about a subsequent prosecution. They're not going to be in that courtroom.
Are you prepared to charge them as accessories?
I'd have to look at the evidence. I'm convinced that Bush, Cheney, and Rice took this nation to war under false pretenses. Now you're getting off on a side issue of whether Congress is guilty of accessory after the fact.
Why would it be a side issue? Those same soldiers are still dead that you mentioned.
Yeah, but it's not the main issue. Who put them in their graves? Congress or George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Condoleezza Rice? You're suggesting that Congress did. Congress was misled into war. They were misled into war.
They became aware of the same things that you're claiming right now, and they continued to fund the war.
You're making that assumption that they became aware of it, and they agree with me, and are actively taking steps to prevent George Bush from being arrested. You have no evidence of that.
There's no warrant for him, sir.
I know there isn't.
So how are they preventing his arrest if there's no warrant to arrest him?
How are they preventing his arrest if they take active steps? If they take active steps to protect him, what active steps are they taking now to protect him?
For the war.
I'm asking you again, what active steps are they taking to make sure that George Bush is not arrested? What active steps are they taking?
You've gone over the second hurdle, I suggest, sir, politely. There's no arrest warrant for him.
I know there isn't.
So you got to get that first.
But you're talking about accessory after the fact of murder, and I'm asking you, what steps do you know that they have taken to make sure that George Bush is not prosecuted for murder? What active steps?
They've ignored your claims, for one thing, obviously.
That's not an active step. You've got to take an affirmative active step.
That's right.
And you're also making the assumption that they agree with me.
The actions that you were calling murder.
But you're making the assumption that they actually agree with me. You don't know that.
You're right, they don't. And besides, just saying it doesn't make it so. You mentioned something from a University of Massachusetts or a Massachusetts lawyer.
Yeah, he said that. That doesn't mean that all Congress agrees with him.
No court has supported your claim yet, has it, about Vermont's jurisdiction?
It hasn't gone to court yet.
It's just your claim.
No, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Who's a bigger criminal, George W. Bush or Charles Manson, and why?
Look, Charles Manson wanted to murder as many human beings as he could. He's believed to have been responsible